Well, hello, my name's Ralph and welcome back to the channel. It's my time, let's go. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of brake work on Gus's bike, and I thought I might step you through the problems that we have. As you see, when we were disassembling the bike, the brake rattled like mad.
This is no good. Imagine riding down the road with that.
There's a few pieces missing and we're going to try to replace those sort of things. Now, one of the common problems with these banana style calipers is that the front hole, which the two calipers go together, this pin in the front is in between the calipers, and it's what holds it onto the hanger. Now, in many cases, such as this, you can see that the pin has wallowed out these holes big time, and it's just rattly in there, which causes the whole thing to go like this. What we have is a replacement, a caliper rebuild thing, sort of, from Bender Cycle, actually. And it is a big pin. It takes some set screws and washers on either end. Now, what we have to do with this is to bore these holes out in line to put that in, and that will fix that kind of problem. The next issue is the brake hanger. The caliper has a pivot pin here that goes through these holes, and the other one goes through the top, like so. And when these are all wallowed out and worn, then the whole thing really starts to move. So what we're going to try to do is get these little bushings that are in here out and put new bushings in it, the new pin in it. The other little spring mount on here on the bike is missing the top tab, a little plastic sort of issue there that goes underneath the brake to try and help stop it from rattling as well. So we'll have to machine a piece out for that. So we're going to take you along as we try to salvage this rear brake and see what we can do. So let's get ready to get at it and get her done. So we've got our mill set up here today, and we've got the brake in there. Now, sometimes it's hard to get it where you want it because the brake is so wallowed out, it's hard to find a spot. But down in the inside here, there's a bit of a machine spot. You can see a round spot where it's been fitting into it. And we've put a milling cutter in our machine here. It's a smaller size than this, so that we can hopefully bring it down and line the holes up in there. So we've taken this size cutter here, and what we're going to do is try to plunge it down inside of there. We're just going to ease it down in there. And what we're going to try to do is line it up in the center of this hole, which seems to have a pretty good surface around there. And we've got our table dialed in about as close as we can get to it. And we can raise it up through here without any binding of any kind. So with our table locked, we're going to get this tool and the tool holder out. I've had to kind of turn the shoulder down here to fit in this collet. I don't know if it's going to grab or not. It appears so. Not grabbing it enough, I don't think. So, you may have to shove it up a little higher. Get a little more grip on it, and then we'll have to move it down out to the length of that, although I hesitate to do that. go down far enough to hit that. So we're going to have to try and reset it. Now that we've got a straight hole through here, it should guide the cutter down through there. It's hard when you're hanging it out quite a bit on the end, but we'll go with what we got. We may have to go a bit at a time. See if we can get that down in there straight. Follow that other hole. Quite enough, but we'll try a little bit at a time. We've got to get it down through the bottom there. And with this cutter not being quite long enough, it's not making it easy to do. Quite through there. Just about, but we got like a quarter of an inch to go, so I've got to get this out and try to extend it just that little bit more. So we'll see if we can get that set up and we'll come back. Go, we're through. There we go, she's in there. Ain't real pretty, but a couple thou on it. There's got to be some play on it. So now we just got to go put some bushings in the control arm so that it will all hook up. And one thing I failed to mention here, when I bolted this unit down, I actually took feeler gauges and 0.010 of an inch or less. I couldn't get them in underneath here anywhere. Wherever I checked on that brown surface, which is the only things that we have to go by, the face of it, I had it good and square. You could clamp it down and it could be up this way. So always be sure and go around with feeler gauges or something like that and check. Make sure that they won't go in and that you're clamped nice and tight. That's about all we can do with it. It is what it is. So I've got to turn myself down a little something here to press the bushings out. It's just got to be the size of the wall. A little bit smaller than the wall. Clearance to press it out. Almost there. I'm going to go on there with play because we don't want to get stuck in there when the bushing gets pushed through. Okay. That'll allow us to tap that in. The other driver will enable us to start to drive the other one out. So I think we'll go with that. Go with that and see where it gets us. So we've got our little part made and it's smaller than the inside. So what we're going to try and do here, it's hard to get a spot to hang on to these things. But we're going to try. And since I've got it made down to fit on the inside and just the outside, I'm going to give it a little tap and see if I can move it at all. That's not agreeing with it, is it? She's so worn out. Wow. No, sir. Not even going to move that. Not even going to move it. We've got it set up here and it's hard to get it square there, but see if we can move it. So we've got the one out, and what we're going to do is try to tap and start this one in it. That should do it. And there we go. It's in there and that one looks good. Now this one is going to be the ongoing nightmare, I think. There's not much of a shoulder here to set up on to try and press it. It's way outworn to one side. Let's see if I can find a little, maybe one socket just a little bit smaller. No, just press that through and the bushing wouldn't come out. Alright, so it just went through it, but it didn't bring the bushing out. And it's distorted that, so now I've got to get that out. Alright, we'll try again. And she's pushed it out the back side. We've got it just about out there now. Just get this piece out and then stick something in there, and we'll get this little piece out and stick something in there and then tap it through. All right, we're back here again. We just tapped it out. We're going to use that flat surface there. There we are. Okay. And there we go. New bushings in it. Hopefully that will make it run a little bit better. And that's about all we can do with it. So sometimes it just takes a little trial and error, just trying things and trying different things. I made up this little brass piece. I probably should have made it out of a piece of steel, but I didn't have one at the time. But it worked. I took my time, took my patience with it, and now we've got all new bushings in there like there should be. And they're straight. And if this brake can be salvaged at all, I think we got it here now. So all that's left to do is put it on the bike, and I think I'll wait for Gus to come and do that maybe, but we may set it on and just have a quick peek. Okay, so while we're trying to fix the brake, the bottom of our brake, as you can see, is all dented and grooved and cut out because of the spring riding up into it and rattling so bad. So we're gonna try and just smooth that off a little bit and put this new little nylon piece that we've made to fit in there. Right now, it just catches up on that and it won't allow it to center itself on there. So I'm just gonna try and see if I can dress it up just a tiny bit, but man, she's almost in there. Almost in there. So we just put our Allen screw in the end of this, and we have to make sure that there's enough clearance on the outside. Now they say you may have to grind a little off if the washers hit here, and we're very, very, very close there. But I don't think it'll be a problem there. We still have a little bit of play in it. And we're just going to tighten it up here. And there we go. And our screws are tight in there, and we have just a little bit of play, and that's what you want for it. So we're hoping that it's straight. It is what it is, and it seemed to be. We measured up everywhere inside, even though you can't go by the outside of it too much, but it's the way it appeared to go in there. So she is what she is now. It was the only surface that we could use was this surface here to make sure it was flat. So we'll try to get some of our pieces apart here. Now, we'll see if we can get this little guy on from the rear, where I ground the ridge out. So now we're looking pretty close there now. The wheel's turning. Managed to get that up in there, and we got minimal amount of movement there. They're never perfect when you redo them. They're always worn so bad in different directions, but that's not bad. All right, brakes. You just got to take your time with them and keep working them and working them and working them. It's nothing goes easy, especially when you're trying to rebuild an old one. and it's been wallowed out, bent, twisted, and pushed up sideways, and everything's worn to one side. We've done the best we can do with it, and we kind of got it spaced out here. It's not too bad. As I said, the gust probably some bolts from the inside out, maybe. Might alleviate a little bit of his problem. I don't think the struts are tweaked a little bit. And it looks like that. I'll put a straight edge on that and have a look. In any case, that's it. As far as taking it apart, Gus is coming up for a visit, so I think I'll get him to take it apart. I'll dig out some wheeled disc spacers and see if we can disc that over just a little bit, because we don't have much play on the back side, so I'd like to see a little more there. But in any case, it's working. On to another project. So if you enjoy what we're up to today, subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell. Big shout out going out to Hippie's Chopper Corner and to Slick Head at Slick Head's Custom Cycles. Pacific Mike, This Old Chopper. I can't even start to remember them all. I'm going to make a list and start thanking all you people, but all you people that have helped me grow and keep me growing. I thank you all very much, each and every one, and I appreciate all the comments. So keep them coming, and let's keep the channel growing. That's it for today. All right.